burps problem. Morning, BBs.
Oh, good morning. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was very chill. I couldn't remember a single thing I did this weekend. As soon as you said weekend, I was like, there was a weekend? What did I do?
Who knows?
What did I do?
Could be
I
anything.
wanted to go to the Ren Fair, but it rained.
Yeah.
It rained all weekend, which means nothing can happen in Los Angeles.
I know. I was supposed to bring Dagger to a dog birthday.
Yeah. Who's
And
going anywhere in the rain?
These dogs aren't going to go to a birthday in the rain.
Of course not. Especially not Dagger.
Especially not Dagger. Some of the other dogs would love it.
Yeah.
Dagger?
No, he's a bit of a little prince.
No.
You see.
We went out yesterday morning and it was drizzling and he looked up at me like, I cannot be expected to function in this.
You cannot expect me to work under these conditions.
Tried to walk right back inside. And I was like, there's nothing you need to do out here. And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, I may never urinate again. What about that? I simply refuse. Did you know that we've had more rain in Los Angeles than Seattle has had this year?
So I saw that reshared on like people's Instagram stories, but I didn't fact check it, so I didn't say it.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hate that for us.
We've had more rainfall this year than Seattle.
Wow. Climate change, everybody.
Yeah, which if you're watching from outside America, number one, you're under arrest. Number one, you are under arrest.
Yeah.
This is American entertainment. And number two, Seattle is supposed to be the rainy, cloudy city.
Yeah.
Fuck
Depression
that.
rates are higher in Seattle.
Sure. They're
high in LA for different reasons.
Yeah, they have
usually.
fewer dog birthdays there.
Yeah. Which leads to depression.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of studies to prove that.
The longer you go without seeing a dog in a little party hat,
Yeah.
the more likely it is
Yeah.
that you have depression.
Now, there is a point where if you are looking at dogs in party hats too often, it actually comes back around and most likely you are depressed.
Yeah.
I can almost definitely say.
That's also true.
You are definitely depressed. Yeah. But, you know, there's a spot in the middle that's pretty solid.
If it's like 2:30 in the morning and you're sending a lot of friends that you know are asleep pictures of like a duck and a kitten becoming friends,
Depressed.
that's depression.
Yeah.
That is depression.
That is absolutely
And we have
depression.
all been there.
Yeah.
We have all, I think you remember my thing that I went through with ducks that were flowers for hats.
I do remember that. That was
Whoa.
also depression.
That was depression.
Yeah.
Also, it's adorable when ducks wear little flowers for hats.
It is, absolutely.
But
But
if
when you're scraping for any dopamine you could possibly find on the internet.
When your algorithm is just like, we're just going to keep feeding you these ducks in these little hats.
Yeah.
Because there can't be that much of that content out there. You know?
You'd be surprised.
We'll just keep sending it to you. You're going to see every duck with a hat on the internet.
And once you've gone around, you probably can't tell if it's the same duck anymore. You're just happy to see a duck in a flower hat.
I can tell by their eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of this weekend I was watching two different events. One being NAB. NAB's happening right now. The announcements have been absolutely freaking bananas so far. I was looking for a roundup and nobody's really posted roundups yet.
If you like cameras,
it just started on Saturday.
Holy shit.
If you like cameras, if you like lights, if you like editing, anything.
If you want a new light to point at your camera, fuck, dude, this weekend was the weekend for you.
It's been absurd.
Shit.
Black Magic just revamped their entire line, essentially.
Yeah.
There's new Da Vinci. There's new
Da Vinci?
everything. Da Vinci?
There's new Da Vinci?
Yeah.
Listen,
It's bananas out there.
Alex, what was your favorite camera that got announced this weekend?
That's rude as hell.
I like the camera that I'm looking at right now.
That's right.
It's very beautiful.
Yep.
And I think it says, oh wait, that's not Black Magic. Just kidding.
Yep.
No, it is. There is. It's cool.
We have many cameras in the studio. It's fine,
It's
everybody.
fine, everybody. It's
be normal.
cool.
Why are
Everybody
you
be
being
cool.
weird?
Everybody stop being weird. You're under arrest.
Anyways, I was watching a lot from NAB, which looks phenomenal so far. I'm very excited about it. I'm also very happy to not be at it.
Yeah.
I was there last year. I got COVID. I had a bad time.
Yeah.
I got very sick in Las Vegas, which is a horrible, horrible place to be sick.
Oh, listen, Vegas is a horrible place to be anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Panic at the Disco has an album called Sick in Las Vegas or something like that.
It's called Vegas is a horrible place to be anything.
It's called Very Sick in Las Vegas, Vegas is a horrible place to be anything.
Parentheses.
Yeah.
I lost my favorite t-shirt. Where are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other event that I've been seeing a lot from has been Coachella.
Yeah.
I was talking a lot leading up to it about how like nobody was talking about going to Coachella, how Coachella's just been kind of, it's not as big of an event as it used to be.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is it true?
It used to dominate the entire feed for weeks surrounding it. Like it was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it.
Now it's mostly
the lineup even dominated the internet for a week usually.
Well, that's mostly you get the lineup. You get the Coachella puts out the lineup and everybody goes, oh my God, the lineup. And then it's just a bunch of pictures of people you know or people that you know at Coachella. I don't know if Coachella's numbers are actually down.
I don't know. A lot of people are saying that there's less hype around Coachella this year, at least. Like we're not getting all the Coachella outfits, you know? People can't afford to go is a big part of it. I also think that post-pandemic, I don't know. Coachella maybe just kind of never came back like a 2016 or 2018 Coachella.
Sure. I mean, a lot of I think a lot of people are still like, ooh, just an outdoor crowd with no real restrooms.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just don't
want to
know
go
about
for that
that
reason.
I just don't know about that.
I've seen all I've seen is that Renee Rapp was there and she's like, all I've seen is Chapel Roan was there.
Yes.
I've seen so much about Chapel being amazing. However,
well, we are definitely we've got some Coachella stuff to tell you about for sure.
Yeah.
We also have some other stuff today. We got some AI stuff that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
We got some what else are we talking? We're talking about cozy games.
Yeah, we're talking about people getting arrested in Japan.
We're talking about people getting arrested in Japan.
Yeah.
For not what you would think.
Yeah.
So stay around for that, and also just remember, as much as travel bloggers love to make Japan seem like a magical fairy tale, you better be on your best behavior in Japan.
Yeah. We're also going to show you a trailer for a movie that you'll never believe was created with AI. It's going to shock you. You're never going to believe where we've gone with technology.
I dare you to guess what parts of this movie were made with AI. But first of all, Coachella. Here
I wasn't really doing a story. I was just like, that was just us chatting in the intro. I was just going to mention it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I know there was something about Coachella that you wanted to talk about, though.
This was just that Taking Back Sunday was bad.
Oh, okay.
That was literally going to be it.
Taking Back Sunday was bad.
In the middle. Taking Back Sunday is currently there's a challenge between Grimes and Taking Back Sunday for the worst Coachella performances of all time. Grimes said, I shouldn't have outsourced the people who controlled my music and then couldn't perform and just kept stopping it. And hey, everybody from the alternative community, why did you all just take Grimes back after they married Elon Musk?
How is Grimes
choice?
How is Grimes still okay to do all this stuff?
I don't get why the internet has just gone back to liking Grimes.
That's
a lot of
weird.
them never stopped liking Grimes. You guys, she married Elon Musk.
And it's not like that. It's not like she stopped that.
No.
That's still there.
And that'll never be a person that didn't marry Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Like
the current favorite child of Elon Musk, because he always has a current favorite and he cannot remember the names of the other ones.
Yeah.
Is the Grimes child.
Like
he says the Grimes child shall be the heir.
Yeah.
Is what he says.
Because he, has a bunch of babies with different people.
Yeah.
Because he has some sort of horrifying idea of what reproduction is for.
But he's got a great deal going where if you have his child, he'll buy you a horse.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are taking him up on that.
Listen. Horses rule.
Uh-huh. I just don't fucking get it. Like, I don't get why people are all not laughing Grimes out of existence after that.
So odd.
Why are we not laughing Grimes off stage every time she goes in public? Do you guys remember when she walked around with the Communist Manifesto as a joke?
As a joke.
She then clarified very much that she is not a communist, but that she thought it was funny to carry around the Communist Manifesto.
That's right. Yeah, she apparently she was having issues with her backing track where it kept playing at the wrong BPM.
Yeah.
And, you would think a live performer would, after years of playing shows,
Yeah.
be able to roll with a BPM change. Like
Yeah.
everybody I know that's ever been in any sort of musical performance is just like, hey, you can always tell when the drummer wants to go home because all of a sudden we're playing our songs at double time.
Yeah.
And like, you just got to keep up with that.
It's almost like she's just extremely wealthy and untalented, and everybody created her into some sort of artistic icon when really she was just somebody cosplaying as a weirdo. How interesting.
So yeah, she apparently had a bad time. Taking Back Sunday, the vocalist was sounded like me at karaoke when I keep forgetting to put in a song.
Yeah.
And so I don't get to sing my song until the end of the night when I've been yelling at the bar all night.
Yeah. And you ended up with like whatever was kind of left over because you didn't want to repeat a song
I
that
didn't wanna
somebody
repeat a
else
song.
did. So it's like out of your range. It's rough. It is so bad. We can't play it, obviously. We will immediately get a DMCA strike for playing any kind of music on the show.
If you've been at a karaoke bar close to Last Call, you've heard.
You get the idea.
You've probably heard this exact Taking Back Sunday song sung this way.
Yeah, honestly. I saw Taking Back Sunday because they opened for My Chemical Romance on their like comeback shows last October, or the one before. And Josh and I went, and we were standing there for a long time, and they were playing new music. And nobody knows Taking Back Sunday's new music. You all know 2 songs, and that's enough. They were there, and they had their logo, but it didn't say Taking Back Sunday on it, and they had like a new logo. And we were just there like, who the fuck are these guys? How are they opening for My Chemical Romance?
Who are these new guys?
Who the fuck are these dudes? And how did they get to open for My Chemical Romance? And then they started a song we knew, and we went,
oh dear.
oh my God, that's Taking Back Sunday.
So they did bad. No Doubt was there.
Yeah.
Gwen Stefani was there. And it was just No Doubt. They did a No Doubt show, which I'm sure was fun for everybody. And
I think
then
Renee Rapp brought out Kesha.
Renee Rapp did bring out Kesha, who changed her lyrics to say "fuck P Diddy."
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. All right. I love that.
But honestly, like, and here's the thing: you want to talk about the aging punk bands coming back. I think there's a difference when your front person is Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
Because she just came back and she's like, I'm here.
She's immortal.
I cannot die, nor can I be killed.
Yeah.
I look exactly the way I did.
Yeah.
Because she just put on the old outfit. She put on the old like A-line tank and like the big pants, and she's like, I'm Gwen Stefani again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think if it wasn't for No Doubt, maybe I'd have had a chance at being straight.
You know,
I think it was all Gwen's fault.
It would have been a good. You would have had a good run. You would have had a good run. I'm sure.
I think I'd have had a good run. I think I could have.
I don't know.
But she just keeps not aging, and she just keeps like. And here's the thing.
Here's the problem.
It's okay for women to age. It's just this like complicated feelings of you look the same way that you did when I was in love with you in elementary school.
Yeah. Here's the problem, Saige. You say that, but I feel like if No Doubt hadn't gotten you, Buffy the Vampire Slayer would have.
Damn.
There's no way you were gonna. You're no
right.
way.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, there was the Renee Rapp came out and did a great set.
Yeah,
and everybody was freaking out about the Renee Rapp set.
God damn.
But I'll tell you, like Coachella is now basically. Do you know what else I think really killed Coachella as far as like going to Coachella?
What?
I think the fact that the live stream has gotten better and better every year. As somebody who like, you know, we look at the production. Hey, we just got very excited about the camera convention. The Coachella live stream now is very good.
Yeah.
You know, they have one for each stage.
Yeah.
You can watch whoever you want.
So like, I guess you don't gotta go.
The sound is good. Like it's one of those things where for people who are like, I want to go, but I don't want to go so badly.
Yeah.
The fact that the live stream is so good now.
Yeah.
Steps it over to that point of like, all right.
Yeah.
I was the friend that my other friends could have convinced to go on the road trip.
Yeah.
I'm the one where everybody's like, come on.
And I'm very susceptible to peer pressure.
Yeah. But now it's like, no, I'm just going to watch it here.
Yeah, I'm good. Like I get the experience. I just simply, I don't camp or have $1 million. So like, those are the 2 options.
It's the camping of it all.
I don't camp and I don't have $1 million.
The idea of simply setting down a tent at a music festival.
Yeah.
Even when I was a dirty, drug-addled teenager, I was just like, and then we sleep in the dirt?
No.
I just spent all day doing drugs and not drinking water because it's $15 a bottle.
Right.
Now you want me to sleep on the dirt? Absolutely not.
The drugs were cheaper than the water.
The drugs were always cheaper than the water.
Alex, will you show them my screen? I just want to show this photo of Gwen Stefani in case anybody was questioning in any way what happened here. Because Jesus Christ.
She can't be stopped. She can't be stopped.
Anyways, that's it. That's it. I
can't camp. I need to be able to plug in my CPAP machine.
There you go.
Says C. Dandino in the live studio audience. That's a very real thing. More people are aware of sleep disorders now than they ever have been.
Way more. I mean, more people are aware of all disorders than
all
we've
disorders. Ever been. Thanks to everybody being trapped inside and quiet and having to self-diagnose everything that they've been avoiding.
Yeah.
More people are aware of their sleep disorders than ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't imagine like going and sleeping on the ground at a music festival.
No, I have never been camping. Actually, I camped one night and it was the worst night ever. It was the worst ever.
Yeah.
I slept in a tent on Catalina Island and I would never do it again.
The Catalina wine mixer?
It was not the Catalina wine mixer.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not.
I can do cabin, like
a cabin,
and not like fancy cabin. Like I can do literal like, dang, this is a cabin. Like I've done that before. You know, where it's like there's one outlet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's one outlet and it's being used for either the lamp or the hot plate at any given time.
That's fine.
And then, you know, it's literally just planks of wood and you've got to, and the wind is blowing in and you've got to put on,
bed, running water.
Bed, running water. I'm so good.
Heater's great. Heater necessary or fire at least, like a fireplace. But like, I'm not staying anywhere I can't shower.
That's the big one for me. That's the big one for me is anytime anybody goes to some massive festival, I'm just like, what was the plumbing situation like? When we went to Darker Waves, my friends and I, I was like, listen, there are 5 different levels of tickets because there always are.
Yeah.
I'm not asking us to buy the fancy tickets because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, but I will say this. The one that's one up from general admission has separate private bathroom area. We're paying for bathrooms at the festival.
Absolutely.
I'm paying to wash my hands and use a clean toilet at a festival.
100%. Absolutely.
And listen, I'll be doing that in 20 years when society collapses.
Right.
I'll be paying the extra tier for running water until society collapses.
Absolutely. I know the loop of the Ren Fair, and I know when anybody tries like, oh, hey, the bathrooms are over here, let's stop. Nope, not those ones. Because they'll try and get you by making the porta potties more visible and accessible. There are real bathrooms. You will not catch me stopping before we get around the loop to the real bathrooms.
There are also real dragons.
Yep. And that's why we love the Ren Fair.
That's right. So there's your Coachella news.
That's it. Yeah. And hey, we're going to get into all of the I guess more it's too early relevant news. But before we do that, be sure to like the video if you're watching on YouTube later. Wink. We would appreciate that very much. It helps us out a lot. That's it.
It helps us so much.
Look at
just
you.
do it.
Thank you very much. Okay. Games news.
Let's talk about some games.
I want to talk about all of these sim games.
I know you do. That's all you ever want to talk about.
It's all I ever want to talk about.
All you ever want to talk about is a cozy sim, a farming sim, a town builder.
Well, I'm not the only one. No. Everybody is making a sim of some kind right now.
Listen, you ain't cool unless you're making a sim.
Yes.
Everything has to have some sort of mini cozy game built into it.
Yes.
You know, you think about even, well, this is a terrible example, but the latest Infinite Wealth,
which has everything in it.
Infinite Wealth has everything in it. So the Like a Dragon games don't count, but everything likes to add just a little bit of a cozy game to it now.
Now, everybody, if you will, picture a setting for a cozy town builder, right? Yeah. Picture what that looks like for
Amityville.
You. Well, that ruins the idea of starting with cozy ones.
Oh. That's the first thing that popped into my head.
That's not even... what is that? What the town?
Yeah, the
actual
town
that's just
of
a real
of the horror.
Amityville's just a place.
Yeah,
like a real place.
If you go to Amityville, this is disappointing.
It's just a normal town.
They don't even have a haunted clock, which is like the 16th Amityville movie.
I'm picturing Critter Cove.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm picturing a cute little island full of animals.
An Animal Crossing, a Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
A Story of Seasons, which is your favorite.
Of course.
We love a chibi child in charge of
Yeah.
a farm all of a sudden.
A sweet small town where everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
Well, we're expanding the genre.
Okay. Amityville?
Not to Amityville.
All right.
But for some reason, while I was looking at like what's going on, game releases, there are 2 like medieval low fantasy, basically not farming sims, but town builder sims coming out
Yeah, okay.
at like the same time that genuinely I thought these articles were the same game. And I thought I had maybe gone to 2 different publications. They were just covering it differently. But no, these are both on PC Gamer. The first one is called Manor Lords.
Yeah, so these 2 games are literally about being a medieval peasant.
Yeah.
They're like being a serf in a fiefdom.
Yeah, they are. So Manor Lords is a medieval city builder. It's about to launch in early access in like a week or so. PC Gamer had early access to it. And I am so curious about this. You are essentially just trying to like build up wealth. You upgrade homes. You're following the demands of the town to keep the villagers alive and happy. Now, I've played these before where you're like trying to keep your villagers alive and it's a little more like low fantasy, whatever. It's not exactly like cozy.
Okay.
But when you look at yourself like in it, I'm used to those being kind of like a top-down situation.
Sure.
And this is like, I don't know. You can just show my screen for this screenshot too, because I'd like to show you the image I'm looking at. Like this to me is not what those games look like.
No, I mean, this has
Which
got
is
more of
so funny.
a third person. I mean, there are some third person sims like this.
Yeah.
Like you play a lot of Dreamlight,
Yeah.
which has this sort of
So
perspective
that's the thing.
to it.
Is it looks like a Dreamlight and not a I'm trying to keep my villagers alive
Right.
sim. Those are typically that top down. This to me it's Dreamlight Valley, but peasants. But
Yeah.
lords and peasants. And you're trying to keep everybody from, I don't know, getting the plague, I assume.
Yeah, so this says that workers need to till soil, plant seeds, wait for them to grow, and then harvest them. It will take
Yeah.
months. The bread making process can remove up to 14 families from the labor pool and requires quite a bit of micromanagement. This is wild. This is wild. They say that they are having like, if you don't have food variety, you can't keep the people healthy.
Yeah.
And so when you have 14 families working on just bread,
Right.
things become really tough.
So it actually seems pretty crunchy
Yeah.
in that. Like it actually seems like a lot to manage.
Yeah, there's a corpse. He said that his town wound up with a bit of a corpse problem.
Yeah.
Bandits will attack. You have to create a militia. And corpses in this, of course, do not vanish when they hit the ground like a family dies.
Yeah.
They're there until you get rid of the corpses. Otherwise, plague will spread.
Dude, I'm gonna play the shit out of this game. I'm gonna play this game so hard.
What the shit, man? I absolutely do not want to play this.
Yeah. I want to play it so bad. I think this is so funny.
You have to create trade routes between different regions and villages. Oh my God.
Anthony, what are my favorite games? If I were to name 3 games I've got the most hours in. 1, Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
2, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. And 3, Animal Crossing or Disney Dreamlight Valley or Harvest Moon. Those 3, a toss up on that, okay? This is literally, and I really do mean literally, those exact 3 things put together.
I know it's the mashing of the Age of Empires into the Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
that's
with
really,
a little Skyrim.
That's really caused a bit of a reaction in me, if I'm honest. I just don't want. I think the reason most people go to these, like you're calling them cozy sims.
Yeah.
The reason most people go to them is like, the worst problem you're going to have in your Animal Crossing village is somebody wants a merry-go-round and all you have is a video game system to give them.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
Or I want to paint a table purple, but I'm going to need to deliver a letter for a duck before I can do that.
Yeah.
This is like...
Corpse problem.
Yeah, I don't know if this...
I'm going to have a corpse problem.
So I don't know if this is actually a cozy sim or if you just find it to be a cozy sim.
I think you're just taking care of your little people in there. You got little people in the machine you're taking care of.
Yeah.
You're making them bread and eggs. You're picking up their corpses when they die.
I honestly, can I tell you something?
Huh?
I honestly cannot believe you haven't gotten into Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah.
You would go nuts over
I
Dwarf
believe that I
Fortress.
would. I know that I would.
It would end your life
Yeah.
probably.
Like you played Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
You do a lot of the stuff in Cult of the Lamb. You're taking care of the dead.
Sure. Cult of the Lamb makes a big cute joke of it though, where it sounds like this is very much.
You still got to deal with their bodies or else it'll upset the town.
That's true.
If you don't, people will start turning on you.
I know.
I'm just saying. It's not that far off.
Sure. I guess not.
Uh-huh.
But I also don't consider out of all the cozy sims,
Yeah.
I don't consider Cult of the Lamb a cozy sim either.
Mm.
Cult of the Lamb,
I think Cult of the Lamb's totally cozy.
like I think it's
It's
adorable.
not a sim, but I think, well, it's a little sim.
But it's adorable and
Yeah.
hilarious
Yeah.
how unsettling
Yeah.
it is. That doesn't make it cozy.
Yeah. People are saying this game was made for sadistic people, and what I say is you clearly didn't grow up on The Sims, okay? Because here's the thing. People have a really wrong idea of the cozy girlies. They think that we want to go to a place like Anthony said, where everything is great, and the worst thing you could possibly face is not having the supply that you need for an errand for a local duck. But no. These are the same people that grew up taking the ladders out of the pools in The Sims. These are the
Sure.
same people that filled a room full of rugs and a fireplace just to see what would happen when they get their Sims cooking. You know what I mean? These are the same people that were trying to kiss the Grim Reaper in The Sims 2. This is for us.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I just don't know if...
That's the evolution of the cozy girl.
sure.
We're just returning to our roots. Corpses are in our roots.
Sure, we all eventually return to corpses. That's one of the oldest truths.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this. I'm not just talking about cozy girls, though. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like the widespread appeal of
Yeah.
cozy games.
Yeah.
And I don't think this fits into that.
This is for the cozy girls, though.
Sure.
It's for them.
Great.
It may not be a cozy sim.
No, because
I'll give you that.
the cozy
But
girls,
it's for the cozy girls. And some people won't think that.
sure, the cozy girls are, and we all know this,
Uh-huh.
the cozy girls are playing Animal Crossing as they're watching a documentary about a serial killer.
Correct.
They are playing Disney's Dreamlight Valley while listening to podcasts about life in a cult.
Yeah.
Like, I know this.
Yeah.
I understand it. I'm just saying, for the vast majority of people,
Mm-hmm.
the coziness is definitely removed when you have bandits and disease-ridden villagers fighting over eggs.
You underestimate the size of the cozy girl community. When you say the vast majority, you underestimate us. We are a legion. We are many. We are cozy girls.
There is a second
Yeah.
game that you, as you were saying, you thought they were the same game.
So this one's Bellwright. This is also coming to early access this month. They're literally coming out at like the same time, both in early access. Now this one I will say is a little more of a survival game than a sim. So this one is a survival and town building RPG. But it's just like the same vibe.
Yeah, this
Look
one
at
gives
this.
me more of a Valheim.
It does. It does give a little more Valheim, but like when you're looking at the both of them, it's like, well,
Yeah,
here, can we?
yeah, you can
Sure.
show that. You can show that trailer.
Hello? Yeah. So this one, I agree. It's a little more Valheim. Oh, good. I'm so glad this is at 360p. That's really what I wanted to view that at. That's what I figured would be the best way to show it to you. But here you have become a community.
Sure.
Rebel against the queen.
That's the best way to make a community. Hey,
Yeah.
if you're watching at home right now,
Yeah.
the best way to make a community
Yeah.
is to rebel against the current regime.
Yeah.
If you really want to get to know your neighbors and make friends and build a community,
Yeah.
simply rebel against the current power.
Form a little rebellion.
That's all.
It's a strong community organizing tactic. So I put them both in here because I was just like, I can't believe these are coming out at like the same time. So people were pretty excited about it. It was first displayed in Steam Next Fest last year. And it is a low medieval sim that's town building and community building about rising up against a queen, which is funny because the other one is called Manor Lords. I don't know. It's just like...
we're all in a place where we are seeing the wheel of time right in front of us, the wheel of samsara, and we're just like, hey, as a reminder, this is what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like we're all there.
Christopher Livingston from PC Gamer took a look at it and said, the process of building a settlement is slow yet completely engrossing. I obsessed over every single little building, which I truly built one stick at a time until I finally had a place to sleep, a hut for resource storage, a cooking pit for food. The idea of building a whole town using the same meticulous process was daunting, but that's the thing about Bellwright. You can recruit help, gain an NPC follower, you can put them to work in your settlement. So like, it plays like a lot of these kind of survival crafting games, but it just feels a little more town sim than your standard survival craft.
Yeah.
Like it has just a dash more of it.
This feels like it scratches the same itch as like those YouTube videos where it's like building a house underground in 3 days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The ones where it's like building house with pool by digging in dirt, 3 days time.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all watch them and we go, if I needed
do
to just run out into the woods tomorrow, could I build that?
Yeah.
I can now that I watch the video, is what I tell myself.
I definitely cannot.
I would definitely be able to do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah,
No problem.
No problem.
No
You've
problem.
watched enough videos.
I've watched so many videos. It's the same. Watching
the same as
video
watching a video.
and doing thing.
Same. Obviously. Sierra Misto said, Cozy Girl Gaming meets Skyrim homesteading. Yes, that's what I'm saying about these. Bellwright says that it includes a larger world to explore, people who will need your help, alongside thugs and bandits to fight wild animals to hunt and more. I don't enjoy hunting in games. That one is off-putting to me. But when they say things that are like people who will need your help, I'm like, again, I'm back in my cozy sim.
Yeah.
I'm running little errands for my neighbors.
I am also the same in that I will do anything in a game right up to killing an animal. And then I'm like, oh, this feels bad.
It does feel bad.
This feels bad.
Yeah.
But I will play Monster Hunter nonstop. That is the exception to that rule.
When does it become monstrous enough to hunt?
Even the monsters in Monster Hunter, when you look at them, you're like, it's just an animal.
Yeah.
It doesn't know any better. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah.
But then you do like a sick 40-hit combo with your insect glaive and you're like, suck it, lizard dragon.
Yeah. Even like Minecraft, if I'm chopping a tree and I accidentally hit a pig that's walking by, I feel so bad.
Ugh.
If you have to like get resources in Minecraft, feels awful. It feels terrible. They make little noises. It's the worst thing. I will do anything to avoid it. I will live off bread in Minecraft to avoid having to kill those little pigs.
The footage of this game made me think about, I would love for somebody to just do a full-on realistic cult game. I would like somebody to do, like when I saw the footage of Bellwether, I was like, you know what? Where's my Midsommar simulation game? You know?
Yeah.
Where's my Midsommar simulation game where once every season we pick a May Queen?
I would love to be in a cult.
I know you would.
In a game, I mean.
I know.
I would love a cult video game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I would love a cult video game.
And also, we do check in on Saige to make sure that she hasn't met any cool or interesting people that want to invite her to their neat communal living center.
If anyone has one of those, I mean.
We just sometimes we're like, no, it's cool. It's cool. You should make new friends. Yeah. Why don't we go meet them together?
Yeah.
Is what we have to say around Saige.
My email's in my Twitter bio if you do have one of those like cool communal living.
Yeah, don't email her.
You guys farm.
No, don't email
her. If
her.
you have little like community activities. Oh, if you have a book club. If you're planning any kind of uprising against your local government.
Now, if you're planning an uprising, you can email us.
Yeah.
You can absolutely email us.
I actually probably don't, because that will get us put on a watch list now that we say that. If you are planning any kind of uprising against your government, please don't send it to our email. we don't want to be reported for that.
That's
you have
right.
to find a more safe way to communicate that. You got to be.
Your uprising is doomed.
Yeah, your uprising already fucked. So don't email that to us, but find another way to let us know.
Here's a fun fact.
Yeah.
I was visiting a studio and chatting with them about some things that they were working on, and somebody who was there and talking to them about like, hey, what's going on in the future, and maybe I can help out.
Yeah.
Somebody who's there is someone who lives in my old apartment, like an employee there.
Okay.
Moved into my old apartment.
Building or apartment?
Apartment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, like a place I used to live, and occasionally gets mail for me. And we know each other because of the industry. And was like, I've been holding on to this for you for like 6 months because it's like, it looks like it's an art print. It says, do not bend. It looks very fancy. So I'm here, I'm in the middle of this business, and I
hope you're getting sued.
And I
you're getting served, and they've been holding on to
They've been holding on to these papers for 6 months. And it's like, oh no, I've been ducking court. No, so I open up the envelope. I was like, well, you've been waiting for 6 months. We got to see what this is.
Yeah.
I open up and I pull it out. It was a big print that was sent to me by the Democratic Socialists of LA.
Oh.
And I pulled it out in the middle of this business, and everybody looked at me like, you fucking red oppressor. You godless red commie pinko. Like everybody was like, whoa, very political to bring to the office. I was like, I didn't bring it. He brought it.
First of all,
Democratic Socialist is nothing. Democratic Socialist is nothing.
Bernie's a Democratic Socialist. Come on now. That's not risque.
But it was so funny. It was just like, oh, did anybody want to talk about politics right now?
Yeah.
Did anybody want to bring
business setting?
Did anybody want to bring up politics right now?
Yeah. Would now be a good time? Can I talk to you about?
I'd love to discuss politics with you.
Yeah.
If anybody would, I have a big sign that just got delivered, and I'll just put it next to me.
Yeah. Can I read you some declassified documents from the CIA about your misunderstanding of Cuba?
Yeah.
You know?
I'd love to.
Well, I don't even remember how we got there.
Well, we've been drifting more and more to the right as a country for the last 40 years.
Right, yeah.
And so that was probably part of it that caused the rise of the movement in America.
Yeah, which would make sense why then it becomes a taboo subject when it should just be
we were talking about how I would love a cozy game that's based on a cult.
Yeah.
Or I like incongruous settings for simulations. Like, I don't want a simulation of your usual things anymore. I don't want simulations of your usual town or engineering or anything like that, or historical movements. I want weird sims now.
Well, hear me out. I love where you were going with Amityville, actually. So we've already gotten a Dead by Daylight dating sim.
Yes.
I'm talking Dead by Daylight town builder cozy sim. It's not exactly cozy, but you're trying to help. Like, there is a nonstop rush of serial killers in this town that you operate, and you're trying to keep your like townsfolk alive, right? So you're like building out traps and things like that.
I love that.
To help this like little people keep functioning.
That could also work.
They'd make that, right?
That could also work in a like a 2-point hospital.
Yeah.
You could do like a 2-point summer camp. But like horror, Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
And now that the Friday the 13th mod got officially shut down.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th game never coming back. Now is the best time to create a cozy little sim where an undead spirit of vengeance is coming after your campers, but also you have to plan for the big dance at the end of summer camp.
I'm in. I'm so in.
You know?
You know I'm in.
And then like you can appoint counselors, but here's the thing about appointing counselors. Like, you got to interview them carefully because one of them could be the killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Like, the killer could be anyone.
That reminds me of that like reality dating show game that's coming out where you have to like pick out your contestants.
Crush
Who's
House.
Gonna get it. Yeah. That reminds me of a little bit of, like, could play a little like Crush House. God, I can't wait for Crush House.
I know.
I think about Crush House every day.
Did you ever play the America's Next Top Model for the Wii?
No.
There's a great America's Next Top Model game on the Wii that I think you'd love.
Oh my God, at some point we have to do a video of that.
Yeah.
At some point we have a Wii
You have
official, legitimate.
We have actual hardware. We bought all our games.
Yeah. Set up here and we could purchase legally that entire game.
Yeah.
Physical copy.
But I do love that idea of introducing a full-on horror game into a simulation game.
Love it. I just think it's like, you can do the setting of the cozy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do the gameplay loop of a cozy game, but you can just do it in different genres. So now we've seen islands and like farmhouse style, you know?
And we've had our city builders, we've had our town builders,
right?
We've had we've built trains, we've
a lot
built
of cute little Japanese towns.
What I would love to see as well, and I think somebody tried to do this. For some reason, my brain is associating it with Double Fine.
Okay.
But I want to say it might have been an Amnesia Fortnite thing they did. What about a thing where you are the head of like a Justice League or something?
Ooh, that's fun.
And you have got to like recruit superheroes.
Yeah.
Stop villains.
Yeah.
Help the building of the city, but also like maybe aliens come and you've got to like, is this a diplomatic thing? Is this an invasion thing? So there's like a bit of a civilization aspect to it. I would love that.
Can I introduce you to The Sims 3 on the Nintendo DS?
I know.
The Sims 3 on the Nintendo DS. If you want to be a superhero, if you want to deal with aliens, if you want to manage a hotel, I'm just saying 3 things you just described.
Spoilers, that superhero's not who you think in The Sims 3 for the DS. That superhero's not who you think.
You become it. It's a great game. If you haven't played that
you
game,
become
you're a
it.
fool.
You become it, but there's another superhero in that game. It's not what you think.
Sometimes you go to jail.
But the Sims games on the DS were light simulation, more adventure role playing.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
But adding those things into an actual simulation.
I
think that would be really good.
Alien in general, I think any kind of alien setting, building a town on a little alien planet where everything works a little bit different and you're trying to figure out how to deal with these new elements and the way they interact on this other planet. Love a cozy sim of that. I would love to know from you all what genres you want. The Tension, unsurprisingly, so on brand, said, I want a pirate ship cozy game.
Sure.
I'm shocked by that.
Yeah. Ringa12 wants to know if you've tried Graveyard Keeper, which I would imagine you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were talking about building a little, going out into space and doing something alien style.
Yeah.
Can I introduce you to Planet Crafter 1.0, finally out of early access?
Yeah.
And got a surprise 10-player co-op.
I want to play this so bad. Will you play this with me?
We still haven't played the content game.
I know.
Because of the servers.
Yeah, we gotta try again for content warning.
We gotta try content warning, but this is Planet Crafter, which has, a very familiar sort of building on a planet. It looks like No Man's Sky. It looks like, a bit like a Rust or something like that, where you're building your little planet and your biome, except they added a 10-player co-op mode.
This is my dream.
Now that the game is out of early access.
I'm so excited. How much is this game? I like to know how much these things are because it's like, well, how much am I convincing 9 of my friends to spend on this, right?
I believe it's $17 right now.
Okay. All right. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Oh, it's currently 30% off.
Right. So it's $17 now.
Yeah.
But it'll be like $24 when it's off
okay.
sale.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, get it while it's on sale if you're going to get it.
I think it's fun. I think it's fun looking. That is the setting that you will always be able to get me in with.
Okay.
The idea of the interplanetary colonization, the idea of like, hey, let's go to a new planet. Let's see what all the different wildlife is. Let's explore the universe.
Yeah.
That's the way to get me. I played so much No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Like so much.
Yeah.
And just like scanning plants and animals and getting to name animals.
Yeah.
And then those names would pop up in other people's game. I was just like, this is so amazing.
Shelley Von Miller said, Space Commune? Space Commune. I'm very into the idea of a space commune. If you have a space commune, my email is in my Twitter bio.
Fully automated luxury space communism.
Yeah. And I'm in. Also, it's just Tim said, has anyone, hold on. Has anyone checked out Midst? I would play the hell out of a sim based on that world. What's Midst? Tell me more.
I think you spelled it wrong. It's MYST. And it's an adventure game.
Oh.
No.
That's gotta be it.
Midst.
Puddleglum said, have you seen or played Timberborn, which is Don't Starve / Sim City with beavers? I haven't. With beavers? This doesn't look like it has beavers. It just looks like a normal town. Oh my God, it has beavers.
Normal town, but beaver.
Oh my God, normal town, but beavers. Holy shit, those. Look at them. Oh my God. Look at them. Anthony.
Yeah, look. Very careful, very careful. There you go. Oh
no.
Hit his little paw. Knew he was going to do it.
Oh my God. This came out in 2021. Why didn't you tell me? No one told me.
No one told her.
It's messed up that no one told me.
Hey, do you know what you might like if you like Timberborn?
What?
You ever heard of Pal World?
No. No, because the worst part of that trailer was when the beaver hit its hand and it hurt it a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them getting hurt in Pal World. So I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pal World's a lot of the worst part of that trailer.
But also,
if you thought the beaver hitting its little hand with its own hammer was a bad thing, you're going to hate Pal World.
But also, you can give a chikorita a shotgun and they sit on your shoulder.
Uh-huh.
And they mow down enemy soldiers with you. 26 million players.
Not still.
26 million players. No, I mean, it's hit 26 million.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but it is now, it's officially outsold every Pokemon game.
God damn it. No. No.
Yeah. It's outsold every Pokemon game.
No.
Yeah. I think maybe Scarlet Violet sold more, but it outsold every other Pokemon game in history.
Man, screw you guys.
Man.
Why'd you do that?
Man.
I know it. Look, it's a less expensive game, but y'all are messed up. Y'all are messed up. Go buy Pokemon. I know the Pokemon company doesn't need your money, but like I do think that your heart might need it.
Won't somebody please think of the Pokemon company?
I think your heart just maybe needs it.
Won't somebody please think of Game Freak?
Pal World is what Pokemon players have been asking for years. Guns and asset repurposing?
Yeah.
That's what Pokemon fans need? That's what plants crave?
It is. It is. I mean, I get what people, I mean, that's an oversimplification, but there are things about Pal World that people have been asking about. And we talked about this when we talked about Pal World.
Sure.
But you know, the persistently online multiplayer thing, people are like, what's up, Pokemon?
Yeah.
How is that not a thing?
Yeah.
Also, you know, the idea of real-time battles.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Self-aware can opener said Pokemon games haven't been good in a while, if ever. If you have that opinion on a game, if you think it was never good and also it is now good, maybe the game was just never for you. And it's not that the game is bad, but the game isn't for you.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon games actually keep getting continually better, like objectively, by like every metric. And for people that did like the game, if you didn't like the game in the first place,
they're getting better by every metric except for technical performance.
Well, but by a lot of different types of technical performance, they are getting better. There have been bugs in the most recent game, but
I mean, listen, people are not wrong to complain about quality assurance within Pokemon games.
Sure.
They're not, you know, there's clearly they're rushing those things out of the oven. There's a little bit of, they're a little doughy at the center. You know what I mean? But no, to say like Pokemon games have never been fun is
then it's okay. It's just not for you.
It's just one of those things where you're like, where you're saying it to say something that you're like, I'm putting down this statement because I want you to respond to it.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon games are good.
Pokemon games are very good and made for children. So we have to stop looking at things that are made for children and being like, it's weird that every adult doesn't love it. I love games made for children personally. So I love Pokemon.
Yeah. There are games in the Pokemon series that I like. There are games in the Pokemon series that I don't like.
Yeah.
You know, But listen, we can all agree by all the metrics that matter that Pal World is the best Pokemon game.
It's just him explained. Midst is a trippy sci-fi space western horror audio drama.
Okay.
I think I do remember the CR folks posting about that because they were doing stuff with it.
Yeah.
So talking about a cozy sim.
So not a. What?
Talking about what they would like, what genre they would like for a cozy sim.
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Like Weird West.
Yeah. So we were saying, what would you like to see in a cozy sim?
I don't think
I love that.
I don't think we've ever seen a Weird West.
That's cool
simulator.
as hell. Yeah, a trippy sci-fi space western.
Yeah.
Horror?
The weird.
Yeah, that'd be a fun game.
Yeah.
I just want that in any kind of game, honestly.
The Weird West genre is really like picking up in games lately.
Yeah.
I mean, there was even a game called Weird West.
Yeah.
But like, I could see it. I only like westerns when there's a little bit of horror / supernatural / sci-fi in them. That's sort of my thing.
Hard, same. Absolutely. You know, both of us talk about this all the time. We don't really do westerns. We don't do cowboy stuff. You know,
we don't do cowboys. We don't do army men's.
Yeah. But I would like to play Planet Crafter with you all. 10 players. That's so fun.
10 players.
I could build a little commune.
10 players.
I'd love that. Well, hey, since we were talking about Pokemon.
Yeah. Love the Pokemon.
It's not our only Pokemon-based story.
No. Listen, you gotta be careful in Japan with IP. You gotta be careful. All of you who are
talking shit on Pokemon better be careful.
You better be careful, because if you mess with Pokemon, if you mess with anybody's intellectual property in Japan, they take copyright law very seriously. They don't really have fair use in Japan. That's not really a thing.
Yes.
One of the things that you may know if you watch VTubers or streamers over in Japan is they have to have the express permission from a company to stream their game in Japan. You can't just stream a game.
Yeah.
So they take this sort of thing very, very seriously. And one of the things that they take very seriously is cracking or modification of code.
Yeah. They don't want you to do that.
They don't want you to
that's
do it.
super fucking illegal there. So,
and things that we would consider to be very normal and cool over here.
Yeah.
Not so much in Japan.
Yeah. Which, again, this is on a specific law. There's also lots of things that would be considered normal and cool elsewhere that you get arrested for in America. Yeah. So, police in Japan have arrested a 36-year-old man on suspicion of illegally modifying Pokemon save data to customers online.
And selling it.
Yeah.
And selling it is the thing.
Yeah. That's the two customers.
Yeah.
So they say that the suspect was apprehended after a police cyber patrol.
They called the cyber police?
Yeah. Discovered
they were backtraced by the cyber police?
Yeah, they were. Had found evidence that he had used special tools to illegally modify save data for Pokemon Violet in order to change Pokemon movesets. And then selling it online.
So basically, they would take custom orders for rare Pokemon, and for $84, he would basically give you an entire team, like 6 Pokemon, with whatever move set and rarity that you wanted.
Yeah.
And they're putting him in jail.
And now he's going to fucking jail. So he has reportedly admitted to committing the crimes already. And according to it, he could face up to 5 years in prison or a fine of up to 5 million yen, which is $32,000 US.
He'd have to sell 10,000 teams of Pokemon.
So many Pokemon.
That's so wild. The idea of modifying a game save or selling a device that allows you to modify a game save is such a normal thing here.
Yeah, it is.
Like the idea of, listen, the original Game Genie went all the way up to it went through the entire US court system, basically all the way up to, I think, the circuit level. And
the Game Shark?
Yeah. And once the Game Genie got through, it was like, cool. So we can just modify saves, do whatever we want.
I'm picturing him getting to prison, right? Sitting on his bunk, looks at his cellmate His cellmate goes, "What are you in for?"
He says, selling Pokemon. What are you in for? He's like, I'm the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Financial crimes about video games. Nice.
My name is Yuji Naka, and I'm Sonic the Hedgehog's deadbeat dad. Yeah, I think the issue with this is the selling of the data, the idea that it was set up on a storefront. This was on a site that is used to sell digital goods online in Japan, something like a booth, if you're familiar with that, where you go and you buy digital assets.
Yeah.
People will create things for you. So it's the selling of the illegally modified data that is the problem. If he had just been giving away this data or doing this on his own time, it would not have been an issue. I'd love to know how much money he actually made.
Yeah, we don't know.
Because they don't say.
Yeah. We don't know how successful he was at this, only how much he was selling each one for.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very curious. I mean, I'm sure it is in some way relevant to the $32,000 that he would owe. Like, I'm sure it is. I don't know if it's that amount of money or if that is like a double of it or whatever.
Yeah. They say, take it, give it to the next person.
Double it, give it to the next person.
Give it to the next person is what they say. So there you go.
And it's an and or. So it's not like, hey, if you can't pay it, you're going to prison, like a lot of things are in America, because crimes are actually only crimes for the poor. But this is 5 years in prison and or a fine of 5 million yen.
Dude said when asked, they admitted to committing the crimes at the heart of the investigation.
Yeah.
And provided the justification that they did it to earn a living.
Yep.
Which like if you are, okay, I understand what you're doing. I understand what you're saying. You're like, hey, I needed to earn a living. You know, I'm out of work or whatever. But when you're about to go on trial for a financial crime, do not, under any circumstances, tell them you made enough to make a living.
Yep. Simply don't tell them you did it.
Simply do not say that.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This article also goes on to highlight some other high-level Pokemon crimes that we've spoken about.
Yeah, a lot of them are card heists. There's been a lot of card heists in Japan.
My favorite one that I'd forgotten about, we talked about this, is the people that tried to lower themselves down the 6-story building to steal cards from a store in Tokyo.
Yeah, and failed.
Like they tried to Mission Impossible it.
Yeah.
And they got caught in the store.
Yeah.
I love that. Then there were this wasn't Pokemon, but you remember at, I forget what convention it was. Gen Con, where they walked off with all the Disney cards.
$60,000 in trading cards. I remember, and I'll never forget it, because I was at Gen Con and it was chaos. It was an absolutely just like incredibly hectic day. And Elise and I were like, let's go get ourselves a fucking steak dinner. Like, let's leave this like hellish packed area. Let's walk a little further and let's go get like a nice steak dinner. And we had the coolest girl that like walked up and had this like, I have to be really fancy here. Like, sorry, I have to put the thing on the other side of you. And we're like, it's okay, girl. Like, we won't tell.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, are you guys coming from that convention? And we were like, yeah. And she was like, oh, so then you heard about the like $60,000 in card theft? And we were like,
yeah,
no.
That's why we're here having a fancy steak dinner, because we got away with it.
We started texting people and nobody had heard yet. And for some reason, this girl who had no idea what we did and had no idea really what Gen Con was on the pulse of this thief. It was incredible.
Yeah.
We were like, do you want to sit down and tell us more?
Do you want?
And she was like, I am so not allowed to do that. And we were like, okay.
All right.
And she kept finding excuses to come back to our table because she wasn't allowed to stay there for long, because it was like a fancy restaurant and there was a lot of rules for it. And she kept coming back and she'd like go in the back and look it up and bring us more information.
I love that.
I'll never forget it. We're texting everybody like, did you hear? And nobody knew yet.
Dude, a con floor is the worst place to get information about a con.
Yeah, it is.
Because nobody can get any service.
Exactly.
The only people who don't know what's going on in a convention are the people at the convention.
It was incredible.
But here's what I would say. Don't commit any sort of financial crime in Japan.
Yeah.
You'll get incarcerated.
Yeah.
Financial crimes are so serious over there.
Yeah. Which is so interesting because in America, financial crimes are like pretty much allowed.
Did you see the thing in Vietnam? The billionaire real estate developer who is being put to death in Vietnam.
I did not.
Yeah.
They're eating the rich?
Yeah, they're eating the rich over there.
What's the crime?
They're eating the rich over there.
Is it just being a billionaire?
The crime is being a billionaire.
I mean,
which
yeah,
should
that's
be
already
illegal
enough. That's
everywhere.
awesome. We should try that with some of our billionaires.
Let me take
Putting
a
them
look.
to death, you know?
Because I don't want to get the. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I don't know. It just sounds like if that was an option, it's kind of crazy we haven't been doing that.
Financial fraud. Being put to death for financial fraud.
It's almost like every billionaire is a fraud.
To the tune of $12.5 billion. That's 3% of the country's gross domestic product.
Whoa.
3% of the country's wealth.
In
3%,
financial crimes.
illegally controlling a major bank and allowing loans that resulted in losses of $27 billion.
Which, you know, if that happened in America, we'd be paying fines.
Oh, yeah.
We as like the bank customers would be paying fines.
Yeah, it'd be like, well, this billionaire really messed up. So we're going to tell them, you messed up.
You stop it.
You messed up. And then we're going to be like, you messed up real bad. And you destroyed the lives of $12.5 billion worth of people, which is most people. What can we do to help you?
Yeah.
How can we get you?
How can we make this right?
You screwed up. What do you need?
Yeah.
What do you need to make it
You still get
better?
to own the bank too.
Yeah. Is it cool? Like, does the bank need money now? Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Hey, if you were struggling, why didn't you just tell us?
Why don't you say something?
We're the U.S. government. We bailed you out. You're a bank.
You only had $12 billion. You needed 12.7. We could have done that for you.
We could have done that. We always have in the past. Haven't we, the United States government, proven to you that we'll always look out for the best interest of the banks? You know we want you to be a billionaire.
Yeah. She used the bank as her cash cow, illegally controlling it between 2012 and 2022, using thousands of ghost companies to give loans to herself and her friends.
Ooh,
Yo,
that's a big financial crime.
If
That's a
anybody,
big one.
if anybody here is committing any financial fraud and like wants to give loans to people they know, we're your friends.
Yeah.
We consider ourselves your friends.
Yeah.
If you were committing financial crimes and you'd give us a little money,
You'd
right?
tell us, right? And don't send it to our email.
Don't send it to our email
Do
and
not
don't
send it to
say
our email.
like don't make the subject line like here's the winnings from my financial crimes.
Yeah.
You would have to speak in a cool code.
Yeah, your financial crimes are already done at that point if you do that.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But yeah, so there you go. It turns out in other countries, you can punish people for illegally manipulating the economy.
That's so wild. I didn't even know that you could do that. As an American, I had no idea that you could punish rich people.
Oh, my dream is to commit a crime big enough that they go, ah.
Yeah, all right, you little stinker.
Right now, all the crimes that I could commit would put me in debt or prison for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get to that point where I could commit a crime that's big enough where they go, you so-and-so, how did you get how did
Oh my
you
God.
right under our nose?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, and we didn't know. How'd you do it?
All right.
Okay, get out of here.
You get out of here. You're
All
silly.
right.
You
Wait,
get outta
before
here.
you leave, here's $100,000.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
You know.
Speaking of financial crimes, let's talk about the old boss of Blizzard. Let's talk about
Jesus.
Mike Ibarra.
Jesus.
Mike Ibarra is no longer the boss of Blizzard. Mike Ibarra is gone now.
Yeah.
Look, Blizzard
Uh-huh.
and people related to Blizzard
Yeah.
and people connected to Blizzard, could you somehow keep your mouths shut
Yeah.
just for a day?
Just throw them into the ocean.
This is how you know that this guy like doesn't have any Blizzard money coming his way anymore.
Uh-huh.
That's because he's just like, here's the thing that I think
Here's
is a
the
cool
thing I think I should say.
Here's something, my name is going to show up in this headline next to the company Blizzard.
Yeah.
And it's going to just cause the stock to tumble even farther. But here's something that I want to say. I want to say, hey, here's the thing. Wouldn't it be cool if players could tip developers for games.
He
like
said-
not just pay the game, but
Yeah.
like if you enjoy a game,
Yeah.
you should leave a tip.
He said, give an extra $10 or $20.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Michael?
What are you saying, Michael? Michael!
Like, listen, this gives, do you remember last year when all of the landlords
Yeah.
on TikTok were
Oh, I
floating the
remember.
idea of like, hey, if you want better service from your landlord, why don't you tip them? You tip everybody else for better service. Everybody's got that little iPad. I walk in after taking care of my 6 Airbnbs and my 7 investment properties, and I go to the Starbucks, and this person doesn't even bring me the coffee, and they don't even make the muffin, and they flip over the iPad and they ask for a tip. What's that?
You simply can't convince me that violence is not the answer sometimes.
And so if they get a tip, why don't I get a tip? Here's a tip. Shut the fuck up, Dave.
I can't.
Shut the fuck up. When I love that the moment the landlords started doing this, when they were like, hey, why don't you tip me if I'm giving you good service? A lot of people were like, hey, what you're doing right now by saying that is actually fucking illegal in most states.
Yeah.
By suggesting that as a landlord, I could get better care from you as a tenant.
Yeah.
By paying you more money, by bribing you, is actually against fucking housing laws.
Yeah, you're actually asking for bribery. Because here's the thing. People don't tip to get better service. That is also illegal.
Yeah.
You don't tip a server to get better service. You don't go, well, I'm tipping so that they won't put bugs in my food. You tip because you know that person isn't paid a livable wage. And that's realistically the only reason. It's actually not about service in any way.
Yeah, the idea
it's
of
actually
it being
not about that.
The idea of it being for good service has been irrelevant for decades.
For a very long time in America.
And the reason that you are seeing all these iPads popping up is because small business owners are trying to offload more and more of the costs of their small business onto
not just small businesses.
And large
not
businesses.
Small businesses.
More and more business owners are trying to offload the costs of running their business onto the customer.
Correct.
There have been a lot of restaurants in LA that have been investigated and shut down recently because they are adding just fees. And what are the fees for? And who do they go to? And if you go to a restaurant and they add a fee to your check, you can ask, you can be like, hey, do you get any of this fee?
Yeah.
And if the server says no, what the restaurant is doing is fucked up.
Yep.
And potentially illegal.
Correct.
What they're basically doing is here in LA, we have a thing called Healthy LA, which there's a certain surcharge that can be added that is supposed to give to health insurance for people in service jobs that don't make salaries. Which, number one,
that's insane.
That sucks.
That's unbelievable that instead of socializing healthcare or even making the businesses pay for their employees' healthcare, like that's 5 levels removed from reasonable.
But I'll tell you this, even at 5 levels removed from reasonable, it's better than most states and cities.
Unbelievable.
As somebody who I've been a server in too many states in this union. The idea that there is Healthy New York is one and Healthy LA is one. And the idea is that money goes into, if you are a server or you work in the service industry, you can go to the social services site in your city and go, hey, I'm a server. I want to take some money out of this Healthy LA. I want these benefits.
We just shouldn't have to do that.
No.
Servers shouldn't have to do that. We spend so much on healthcare.
Yeah.
We have the most expensive healthcare system in the entire world for both the government and for ourselves.
Yeah.
Separately.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
we don't have the most effective. We don't have the shortest wait times. We don't have the best care.
But I can tell.
We don't even send doctors to Doctors Without Borders anymore. It's all Cuban doctors.
I can tell that we have a very expensive healthcare system because sometimes as I'm walking to my appointment, I can see the very fancy and expensive labs that they won't let me get tests at for my chronic condition because I don't have the good insurance.
Our doctors aren't even good enough for to be sent to Doctors Without Borders anymore.
Did you know that? I walk by and I look in the window.
Yeah.
And I go, ooh, isn't that the machine that would test me for the thing that I think I have? They go, oh, yeah.
Don't look at that.
No, but you're going down here.
You can't afford to look at that.
No, you're going to go and we're going to take 80 vials of your blood and what do you do with them? We just throw them out the window, really.
Yeah.
We just throw them out the window, really.
Throw them at poor people.
Listen, this is really fucked up, but it all comes down to this idea of how do you get money to the people that are doing the work?
Yeah.
Somebody responded to Mike Ibarra's initial statement with hey, people are giving this statement a really bad rap, and they should.
Yeah.
But it's important to note that this is a model that exists on places like itch.io for
when it's an independent developer that created a game for free? How interesting, and not a $70 Blizzard game?
When there are developers that have, even small developers that have, they're AA developers. They have 20 or 30 developers, whatever it is. For a small company or an independent developer, an independent shop, they have this system in place on itch. There's been a system in place like that for the Humble Bundle, right?
Sure.
You can give extra, and then at the end, it's
that goes to the charity typically. But
no, at the end, there's the Humble tip, right? It's always been there. It's this money goes directly to the devs if you want to give extra
because
money.
They chose to give their game in this bundled for charity, so they're not really making money from it.
But what Mike Ibarra is saying is shouldn't you tip Blizzard?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you tip EA?
No. Yeah, tip these billion-dollar companies because they're not paying their employees enough.
Shouldn't you tip Ubisoft?
Hey, don't think of it as tipping. Think of it as subsidizing EA. Should you be subsidizing EA? Should you be subsidizing Ubisoft or Activision Blizzard? Because I don't think so.
Now, one thing that he did say is that he's often felt that upon completion of a particularly enjoyable single-player game, he'd like to give more money to the developers because it was worth more than my initial $70, and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second.
Well, what is your salary, sir? And do you think that your lived experience in this world is the standard one? Well, hey, can you look up this guy's, if there's any information about how much money this guy has or was making at Blizzard?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I will say that there's something in this initial statement that I do like, which is, he says, hey, sometimes I get done playing a game that actually caters to what I want, and I'd like to give more money to the developer because it's honestly what he's saying is it's bucking trends. He gets into the second half, which is weird, but this first half where it's sometimes I finish a really good single player game, and I wish I could throw extra money at the devs because it's hard to find games that actually cater to players these days.
Doesn't it sound like maybe the solution isn't pay more than $70 for a game, but if a game is going to nickel and dime you, you sure shouldn't be paying $70
of course. And that's what I'm saying. The second half of this, he comes to the wrong conclusion.
Oh, yeah.
He comes to completely the wrong conclusion.
Yeah.
But his setup is no different than things that we've been saying, right? But it's the difference of it went through his millionaire executive worm brain and came out the wrong side. Yeah. But it does say something. He's saying I do wish that when I play a game that I could tell is made really well, does the things that I want a game to do, is single player, doesn't nickel and dime me, doesn't force an online component, doesn't force persistent servers. I want to be able to reward those developers. And what we would say is the way to reward those developers is simply by buying the game. Hopefully they're pricing the game appropriately to where all of their people get paid well and they make enough money off their game.
Maybe the thought should be, because people are so deeply drowning in capitalism, especially the people that are served so much for it by it like him, that they can't consider hey, these people that make these really good games should be paid really well, and the quality of their game doesn't actually affect that. Yeah. People who are making shit shovelware at these massive companies, these top level executives that didn't actually put any work into these games are making tons of money, and I'd like the people who we're at the bottom of this,
Yeah.
actually working on it to be paid fairly. And maybe the issue is you should just pay the people fairly
Yeah.
and stop laying off people when the game is done.
Why isn't
that the take? Why
Yeah,
isn't it
why-
like, damn, I wish when I finish a game that I didn't have to go, damn, I bet all these people got laid
Yeah.
off after they made it.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, how many times did you make a game and then the game did really well, but because it was the end of the quarter, you just fired a bunch of people?
How many times, Mike? All right, what do you got, Alex?
So, although we can't find his past salary, the current president of Blizzard is paid over $7 million
Mm-hmm.
for
Uh-huh.
2022.
Yeah,
Now
that makes sense.
That's pay. That doesn't include stocks and
That
options.
doesn't
Yep,
include
that's
any of
salary.
stuff.
That's just the salary.
Salary. Upwards of $11 million for a chief administrative officer. Just
Sure.
in pure compensation.
Yeah, and then I'd love to know what the average salary for a developer or engineer is at
Yeah.
Blizzard. Because here's the thing, I also, Alex, if you've got a way to up your levels, please do. I also just the thing of this is, we know that games are making enough money. We know that they are. Games are setting more and more records for sales every year. Every game is doing well. Games releasing a horrible and broken game is not hurting anyone. Cyberpunk came out and it was the most broken game that ever existed. And 3 years later, we're giving it awards. I'm not worried about these studios. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about them making enough money. What I'm worried about is the fact that that money is not getting distributed fairly within the company. And the idea that, oh, I should throw an extra $20 at the developer. I also wonder where Mike thinks that extra $20 would go. How would that $20 get distributed? I think Mike believes that he would be just simply tipping the company and that the company would just distribute the money fairly,
Yeah.
right? The idea is like, oh, I play a really good Ubisoft game
And I just trust them.
and I just hand them an extra $20 because I'm
Yeah.
like, good game, Ubisoft. And they go,
Yeah.
thanks for the $20. We're going to give this to everyone who worked hard on the game, starting from the bottom up.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, that's how it works.
No, they don't even do that with the profits now. Why would
Yeah.
you give them extra profits?
Right. I also do want to circle back because everybody was very caught on the doctors thing. And I do want to answer that because there was like a dozen messages about it in chat.
Oh,
Yeah, it's because America has halted so much medical advancement here that our doctors are not as educated as so many other countries' doctors because we intentionally gatekeep financially things that could be more beneficial to people because the other things are things we can charge them more for.
Yeah, we
so instead
don't,
of curing certain illnesses, we focus on charging people to maintain certain illnesses. We don't fund research in the same way. So our doctors can't receive the same education that a lot of other places can.
that's right.
So it's not an insult on our doctors. It is on our medical system, however, that is entirely enslaved to capitalism.
Yep. So there you go. Mikey Barra says, please, somebody think of the large corporations that are doing well. As per usual.
Unbelievable.
Speaking of large corporations that are doing well,
Yeah.
Tesla isn't one of them anymore.
No.
Tesla is not doing great. Tesla shares and values have been tanking. Thanks number one to Elon Musk just being Elon Musk in public.
Yeah.
That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in anyone.
No.
But number two,
Except for Grimes.
anybody who is following Tesla, who has bought a Tesla in the last couple of years, will tell you that the quality assurance on Teslas
Yeah.
recently,
Terrible.
the design level on them, the engineering on them has just gone insanely downhill.
Yeah.
Oopsie doopsie. And one of the things that people were wondering about was the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck, of course, is the worst built vehicle in the history of ever.
I've been seeing them on the street lately.
They're awful.
Horrible looking.
It's so funny when you look at them. I've watched so many videos of people being like, the panels don't line up.
Yeah.
Nothing inside works.
Again, if you know somebody who bought a Cybertruck, you
Yeah.
have to laugh them out of existence.
Stuff is like breaking.
We have to laugh at people.
Yeah, stuff is like breaking on the inside. They're absolutely terrible. And one of the things that's really, really awful about them is their range, their driving range.
Yeah. Which as an electric vehicle is pretty important.
It's insanely important.
Uh-huh.
and they can't go very far at all. Everybody who has a Cybertruck is disappointed in this range.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to know what was going on with the Cybertruck. What happened is somebody, Monroe, opened up one of these Cybertruck batteries. Now, you will be able to buy an extended battery pack for your Cybertruck, okay? And it will go into the bed of the Cybertruck.
Jesus.
Which already doesn't hold anything. I think
it's not a truck.
No, my Scion, my 2006 Toyota Scion hatchback, I think fits more than a Cybertruck.
I think it does.
I drive a little gray roller skate.
Yeah.
And it probably fits more than a Tesla does. But you've got to give up the bed of that Tesla for the extra driving battery, which is not available yet. Now, Sandy Monroe and his team opened up the Cybertruck battery, and they found out that the Cybertruck battery, when you open it up, is half empty. It's half just air.
Now then, why would you have to buy an extended battery that takes up your truck bed?
So you can, it's wild. And, you know, I'm not a battery engineer. I'm not a chemical engineer or an electrical engineer. Perhaps the reason it's half empty is for heat dissipation or airflow or something like that.
But these people who are opening it up does seem like they know something about this.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I say to myself, I don't know much about how a battery works. Sandy Monroe and his team open it up and they go, there should be a lot more battery in this battery.
And I believe them.
It turns out you can fit an entire, they're saying 50%, you can set an entire second layer of cells into the space. They found 4,680 cells, like battery cells.
Yeah.
But it could clearly fit almost 10,000. Wow. And when Monroe engineers pointed out that it was half empty, Cybertruck lead engineer Wes Morrill confirmed it and said, well, I prefer to think of it as half full.
No. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth.
Which, hey, Wes, that's pretty funny. But Wes, my guy,
shut up.
You don't sound like your CEO. We don't like that when your CEO says that. He did. He said he prefers to think of it as half full. That's not a joke.
Oh my God.
Now, so further investigation is definitely needed.
Yeah.
But it does seem like, as we know, the battery is the most expensive component of an electric car.
Yeah. And this particular Cybertruck has the smallest battery life of any electric truck.
That's right.
Any electric truck on the market. This has the shortest battery life.
So you can see where people would go, oh, this is a huge cost-cutting measure, especially since now, if I was a product engineer or a product marketing person, what I might do is I might put the smaller battery in the car if I was told that I had to.
Okay.
But what I would do is instead of saying the second battery goes in the bed of the truck, why wouldn't I build a place in the bottom and be like, no, you can buy an extended battery. Normal, extended.
Yeah.
Not, we fit as much battery in this truck as we can. Why don't we hook a fucking one of those like Mophie Air juice packs, an Anchor fucking battery pack to the USB-C of your truck and throw it in the bed. This is like when that business person at the airport pulls out that giant fucking battery for their laptop.
Yeah.
And you're just like, my guy, it's not worth it.
And they make smaller ones now. You don't really have to do that.
You don't need to do that.
You really don't. Everybody has been disappointed since getting the truck by the battery life. It was strongly overestimated when they announced the truck, which, mind you, a lot of people pre-ordered this truck based on the announcement that then came out to be false based on the battery life. And typically Teslas have had smaller batteries, but were made up for by being efficient. The problem is this truck is not efficient.
People saw the Elon Musk presentation for the Cybertruck where he said the glass is basically entirely shatterproof and bulletproof, and then threw a baseball through the window.
Yeah.
And they said, I'm a pre-order that.
Yeah.
They said, I think that's probably everything about this is true.
So
I'll order it.
to that, I don't feel bad for anyone who bought one.
No.
I don't feel bad for a single person who bought this monstrosity of a truck that was very clearly bad the whole time.
At this
This
point,
should be a lesson for you that you deserved to learn in the form of wasting your money.
at this point, Tesla has really served their purpose. Tesla served the purpose. I know that in Elon Musk's brain, he was upending everything. In everybody else's brain, including the automotive industry.
Yeah.
They were doing the same thing that they did with internet video back in the day, where it's just like, we're going to let y'all make your little internet videos and start your little internet video companies. We're going to let you do that. And then when this becomes profitable,
Then we start to regulate.
then we come in and we do it
Yeah.
and we will eat your lunch.
Yeah.
All of these companies were like, we've done the research. There is no way electric cars are profitable right now. You
So
go
you
ahead
go
and do
ahead.
that. And you get everybody used to electric
Yeah.
cars. And now you can buy a billion times better electric car from Ford or Toyota or whatever at like half the price of a Tesla.
Yep.
The only thing you don't get is karaoke mode.
Yeah.
You don't get karaoke mode in your car with any other car but a Tesla.
And you know what? That's okay.
That, if
I think you'll be
karaoke
all right.
mode is your number one reason for wanting a car, then there's still only one place you can go. And they've got that market locked up.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Like as far as the in-car karaoke, it's James Corden and Tesla.
Yeah.
And we deported James Corden.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you just love that list together?
Yeah, just two cools.
Just two of your favorite things. Elon Musk's Tesla and James Corden.
Ugh.
I do want to talk about one more thing before we run out of time, even though we're already out of time.
We're out of time.
We're out of time, but too bad. We got to show you.
You're under arrest.
The first AI-generated romance film, and you're never going to believe that this was made by a computer.
You'll never be able to tell. This is a film called Next Stop Paris.
So this is by TCL, yes, the company that makes TVs. And they said they're going to make their own romance movie. It is a short romance movie. It'll be available later this summer on TCL TV Plus, a free streaming service that comes with TCL TV.
You know that thing where you turn on your TV and they have like their own weird thing? Like my Samsung has like, it's Samsung TV Plus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And then you go and you click on it and it's like, for whatever reason, Samsung shows like episodes of Heartland 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Heartland is.
Right. And you're like, I guess I can just watch that for free if I wanted to watch that show.
Like, okay.
Okay.
So TCL apparently has that.
Now, we're going to watch the 1-minute trailer together. I'll play it
Yes.
on my screen, Alex. And let's just see if we can spot the AI. Okay. Let's see how good this technology is getting, right? All right.
You let
I'm
us
ready.
know when you see the first thing that you think is AI.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Now, there it is. There it is. There it is.
I'm hoping it's a new start.
Huh.
I don't think we have to pray for longer.
Maybe
There it
you're
is.
the
There it is.
Oh.
Are those the same
mysterious
people?
man who never shows his vulnerability.
A mysterious man who never shows his vulnerability. Wow.
Maybe you're the kind of woman who's never sure what you want, even
Oh,
if it's right in front of you.
wow. From TCL TV Studios, a real place that does real things.
Uh-huh. An AI-powered love story.
Sometimes the heart moves too fast. Wait, don't go.
The teeth look so normal and
The
good.
teeth are normal and good.
like most AI-generated teeth.
What is that clock?
Wow. What is the time on that? What? Those aren't Roman numerals.
It was second 3 after 90. Now,
And that's Next Stop Paris
now
from
a couple
TCL
things
TV.
may surprise you.
Uh-huh.
So the first is that was entirely done with AI. Could you tell? Like, I'm not just saying just parts of it. Like, it takes a real
Could
eagle
you
eye.
tell those weren't real people?
It takes a sharp eye and like, you got to
Yeah.
really know the tech. But
Yeah.
if you know what to look for, you can
Yeah.
sort of see it.
Now, you might think, based on the really terrible words spoken in that trailer, that the script was also then obviously written by AI. But no, specifically, the script was written by the CCO of TCL.
That's right. Both of the CCOs.
Yeah, the chief content officer and chief creative officer wrote that script together.
They sat down and they wrote a film.
I
and
feel
they
like-
decided, and that shows you the true creativity of an engineering firm.
I love this. I love this so much. I think it's so funny because I've worked for like big corporate creative companies, right? You know, like I worked for NBC Universal and Comcast, okay? So like the people who have a C-suite title, but are like, but I work in like a creative field. I'm a creative.
I'm like a creative
People
person.
who are C-suite that think they're like creatives are exactly these guys. I can picture them right now.
Artist.
They are so corporate executive. They're so like in the world of like, I just moved up through corporate middle management when at some point I had dreams of being a creative, being like, we could write a script. Let's write a love story together.
Yeah.
Let's write it. Let's make the whole thing with AI. Let's show the technology that TCL can do.
So okay.
You can picture these white guys in your mind as soon as you hear it.
This entire thing was created, according to their press release, not just by them, but by a global production team of animators, VFX experts, and AI engineers.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Alex, if you'll show my screen.
You're just saying words. Okay, the one thing you might notice that the one thing that they couldn't do, human voice.
Yeah.
Those were actual voice actors.
Look at this.
Look at those smears on the River Seine.
Those boats?
Those are boats?
Look at the shape of these buildings? Question mark? Whatever this is?
I love that the buildings are melting.
Yeah.
I love that the Eiffel Tower is melting.
Yeah.
I love that the ships are made of clay. I love that our two leads have different faces in every scene.
Yeah, they do.
That they look completely different in every single scene. I love the fucking clock. Can we please?
Oh, the clock.
I have it on my screen here. I love this clock. This is good, actually. This clock decided it shouldn't just have numbers on the inside, it should have numbers on the outside, but what sort of numbers should they be?
41.
Real or no? Also on the inside there, you might notice that it can be like a couple 3 o'clocks.
Yeah.
Like it could be 3 o'clock any number of times.
I see a 41. I see 2 01s.
I see a few D's. I see a rune.
Yeah.
It's very good. The special.
What time is it? D's nuts. You know what I mean?
The animated special is created by a global team, including artists from US, Canada, the UK, and Poland, who are pushing creative and enhanced storytelling by layering tech and high-quality design animation over traditional narrative. Where was the animation that wasn't made by AI? Where was the high-quality animation that you layered over this AI?
Where was even the good AI?
Point to one shot, please. Please.
Where was the AI even high quality? Because we've certainly seen better AI image and video generation.
Here's their official creative statement on it.
I love this.
The AI technology used to create these characters in fictional world allows the creative teams to push boundaries and invigorate the viewer experience while also creating new opportunities for marketing partners. The push into originals helps drive a market advantage in a noisy environment filled with content options. And the IP has many applications across the platform, from interactive components to sponsorable elements and more. This is TCL saying, everybody else is making movies and we don't have the money to make movies because we're TCL.
Yeah.
We're like, listen, no shade. TCL makes decent TVs, but like.
And bad TV shows.
But you can't make a low margin product and then have the money to spend on original programming as well.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works.
No.
I'm sorry, TCL's chief creative officer, that you don't get to make original programming, but to sit in your office, like they were ignoring other things going on.
Oh yeah.
At TCL.
Oh yeah.
To make an AI trailer, the quality of which is posted on Reddit 18 times a day.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey guys, It's always posted with something that says, hey guys, can't get their faces to look the same in between shots. Any tips on prompt engineering for me?
Yeah. I bet this guy posted it. I bet one of the CCOs was there on Reddit.
Ugh.
Anyways,
this is so good.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe that
how
was
far
made with
technology
AI?
has come?
Wild. No, I can't.
No.
I can't. I can't wait to watch the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I really do want to watch this entire
Now,
thing.
it's going to be a short. This was a 1 minute trailer of it. I'm guessing we get, what do you think? 11 minutes? 11-minute short?
Oh, I hope so. I hope we get a full 11 minutes of just everything. Every AI video looks like the acid is just kicking in.
Yeah.
Every AI video looks like, oh no, the entire world is getting a little melty. I ate too much.
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for 11 minutes of it.
Yeah. Well, we'll update you when it does come out. If realistically it ever does after this trailer, which I don't know. I don't know if they do. Depends on if they read the internet.
Dude, I hope they're getting razzed by everybody at the office today. They have to.
You know they are.
And it's like, oh, did you finish your little AI thing that you said was going to change the company?
So you think maybe you could get to those papers I left on your desk?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Now, why don't you take a look at, we have a new design for the remotes.
Yeah.
Why don't you look at the remotes? Give your creative feedback on that.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Jeff. And that's it for our show today. Thank you so much for joining us and spending your morning with us. We appreciate you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like the video, subscribe for more. We've got a bunch of other fun content coming out. We've got fun stuff coming out in between. It's too early, so stick around for that. You can get notified every time that we post a new video because all these other systems are unreliable to tell you to do so, and we appreciate it. It is free and it helps us out a lot. You can also leave a comment. You can let us know, if you could tell, if you could spot the AI.
Yeah, what part did you go, I think this might be AI?
You could spot it in? Mm-hmm. Or two, what genre you'd like to see like a little town building sim in? Mm-hmm. I'm standing by my Dead by Daylight pitch.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That's very good.
They can have that for free if I can play it. That's the only trade-off.
That's right. And hey, thank you to everybody who has been tweeting about the show going live, sharing it on socials, sending in story suggestions. We really, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you, folks.
I also wanted to thank some people that left a comment on our last video on YouTube. Thank you very much to Whisper the Ninth saying, Garfin time with breakfast lasagna. And then in all seriousness, as a Transformers fan, though not necessarily the Michael Bay ones, I'm mixed with the G.I. Joe crossover. It's 100% been done in comics and even figures. I just don't want to see it fall flat. I think it was a very, we needed a real take on that as people who had not been terribly familiar with the IP.
I'm ready for it.
We also had a lot of folks really enjoying the chaos at the end. Simply Possum said, man, it's crazy that not one but two people dressed like Saige broke into the studio during this show. Isn't that wild?
It was nuts.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that we've got the alarm guy coming out.
Thank you very much for leaving your comments and your thoughts on previous episodes. We try to highlight a couple of comments each time, so it could be you. Thank you for joining the Discord. It's free. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon. It's not free, but patreon.com/Pixel Circus.
Yeah.
It's just a good way to help keep us going and get a bunch of extra content. That's
right.
Really freaking cool.
We are going to go through and thank everybody who supported us directly during the show.
We are.
But first, Saige, where are you when you're not here?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So if you are watching this on Monday, I'll be live later tonight. How about you, Anthony?
You can find me everywhere online at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, give it back to me. Or you can listen to my science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata called We Have Concerns. This week, we are talking about all the lead that's in Lunchables.
I saw. Devastating to me personally.
I know.
Terrible day for Saiges.
That's 3 of your 4 food groups.
Terrible for Saiges.
There's a lot. And we let you know what that means and what else it's in.
All right.
And Alex, what do you do with your life?
I'm just a little guy, but if you want to check out a cool thing that I'm working on, you can go to bit.ly/P pre-save C Confluence because there's a game coming out later this year that I've been working real hard on.
Yay!
Woo! Yeah, that's it. We're
That's
going to get
it.
out of here. Have a great rest of your morning, everybody. Take care.